It was my way of giving back to the community.
Johnny Blash served in law enforcement for more than 2 decades, 4 of them at the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office. He says it was an honor to wear the badge that represents respect, trust, and integrity.
Integrity was 99.9% of who I was as a person and as a law enforcement officer.
Blash dreamed of running for sheriff in his home, Pulaski County.
I wanted to affect change in my community as I saw it.
And he finished second in the 2012 election against a 12-year incumbent. He vowed to run again in 2016.
And I just wanted to live the American dream, just to have an opportunity to do something that I felt I could do.
Until he walked into work December 1st, 2014. Pulaski County Sheriff William Cape simply told him his services were no longer required. 6 months later, Blash was arrested.
Violation of oath of office and obstruction, felony obstruction.
Both felonies. Blash became an inmate behind the same bars where he'd put suspects.
The same holding cell, the same booking procedure, booking process. To say the least, it was very humiliating.
The Pulaski County Sheriff's Office claimed Blash had interfered in a federal drug investigation by telling someone to stay away from a suspect. But he says the investigation was already over by then, and he says the person he talked to,
they were not even a person of interest or a suspect at all.
According to court records, Pulaski County's chief investigator Robert McGriff later confirmed that in writing and in testimony. He said Blash didn't even know a drug sting was underway, essentially clearing his name. Before the charges ever made it to court, Blash asked for a GBI investigation, like other ones involving Pulaski deputies accused of crimes. Blash says he never got that investigation. Just an arrest based on allegations.
I was facing serious time, jail time, prison time. When they put those charges on me, it took away my ability to provide for my family, to support my family, and that was done by design.
Blash says he believes to this day he was fired based on the color of his skin and the fact he was running for sheriff in a neighboring county.
Racism. It was just a simple fact of a black man choosing to fulfill his dream of running for sheriff. I was not going to be denied the opportunity that other people have.
He argued that Pulaski County's current sheriff, Danny Brannen, was the driving force behind his firing and the false charges.
He pretty much ran the sheriff's office. Everyone knows it, whether they say it or not.
He says Brannen has a reputation of discrimination. Court documents from Blash's federal lawsuit include statements from private citizens and a deputy saying Brannen often used racial slurs, calling African Americans the N-word.
He made the statement in front of several people. If you're black and your lips are moving, you're lying. How can you, as a leader, as a sheriff, whom people trust, make those kind of statements?
Brannen denied all of this under oath. He and county officials asked a federal court to throw out Blash's discrimination suit, but a federal appeals court said no. They ruled that based on Blash's evidence and witness statements, a jury might fairly conclude that Brannen had racist opinions that affected his leadership and personnel decisions, that he played a role in Blash's firing and charges, and that Blash was treated differently than white deputies accused of wrongdoing. After that ruling, county officials paid Blash to settle his lawsuit. Meanwhile, Blash says the false charges hurt his name and reputation.
For 3 agonizing, long years.
Including during his 2016 campaign for sheriff against Chris Cootie in Pulaski County. Blash lost, and District Attorney Tim Vaughn's office dropped the charges 9 months later.
It cost me the election.
I spoke to District Attorney Vaughn, who argues they had enough evidence to prosecute Blash, but says his office dropped the charges because the main witness, the person Blash allegedly tipped off, died. For 13 Investigates, I'm Ashlyn Webb.